Right. I am here to do my Halloween franchise, not ranking, but review. Yep, surprisingly, not ranking, but review. Not ranking, but review. Not ranking, but review. Not ranking, but review. Okay? Now, the reason I said ranking and not review in the Halloween franchise is because the biggest question I get, um, because I've been having a lot of people ask me this past year, what's your favorite Halloween movie? What's your favorite Halloween installment in the franchise? What's your favorite? What's your favorite? You know, it's like everybody wants to be Ghostface, you know? You want to school me on horror? Okay. But what's your favorite? What's your favorite Halloween franchise? What's your favorite Friday the 13th? What's your favorite? I have a favorite in that series. I will rank the Friday the 13th series. I will rank the Texas Chainsaw Massacres. I will rank the Nightmare on Elm Streets. But when it comes to the Halloween franchise, yes, go ahead and get your pitchforks out. I do not have a favorite. I don't have a favorite Halloween, or as some people like to say, Michael Myers film. I don't have a favorite whatsoever. So we're going to be putting this out. Since I don't have a big following on YouTube, um, we're going to put it on Poco. We're going to put it on Facebook and a few other live streaming apps since I don't have a following on YouTube. But YouTube's easy to go to. So the good thing is about YouTube, if you're on YouTube, you can, you can put it on Twitch, you can put it on TikTok, you can do there's other platforms that get your message out there. And surprisingly, even my own daughter, Callie, and this goes out for my daughter, Callie, too. Callie, I don't have, and to all my fans out there who ask me, because when people know how big of a fan of horror I am, the biggest question I get is, what's your favorite? What is your favorite? What's your favorite scary movie? Come on, man. This is not Ghostface and Scream. And I have, I will rank the Screams, but when it comes to the Halloween franchise, I don't have a favorite. Mainly because you have so many different timelines in this series, okay? You have one timeline that starts with Halloween 2, right? Halloween H2O 20 years later, then Halloween Resurrection, right? That's one timeline. Then you have the Thorn timeline, which starts with Halloween 4, The Return of Michael Myers, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers, and then you have Halloween, the Curse of Michael Myers, which you have a producer's cut and you have a theatrical version. And the reason you have a producer's cut and a theatrical version was because the producer and the director and the writer was not on board with this movie. And if I had to put something at the bottom of this franchise, it would be right here. Not just because it's at the bottom for me and it doesn't scare me, doesn't mean it wouldn't scare you. Then you have the Rob Zombies timeline, right? You got his timeline, which arguably, to me, comes off very strong. Now, if you want to start with some fan arguments, one fan argument is this. Whose was better? John Carpenter's Halloween or Rob Zombie's? Whoops, I grabbed the wrong one. Rob Zombie's Halloween. Upside down. Halloween. Upside down. Halloween. Upside down. So whose is better? To me, it's an argument that's full of fallacies. Some people claim that some people who just want to just consistently hold John Carpenter in a high praise. Oh my, John Carpenter, and just lick this daggum box up and down. You got some fans that are like that. They can't see past their nose. And I can't stress past their nose well enough. I have to say that it is a classic. I have to say that the score is awesome on the original Halloween. If you're looking for something as far as deeply disturbing, John Carpenter wins. As far as the music score, John Carpenter wins. As far as the music score, Carpenter wins. As far as a deeply disturbing Myers, it's a toss-up between who's more deeply disturbing as far as Michael Myers. Was it be Rob Zombie's or John Carpenter's? And it's an argument that has been long debated amongst fans. As far as I go, let me just say, to me, this movie, the original Halloween, the 1978 Halloween, right? Before 2,000 fans correct me, make sure I have the year right on that. 78. I can't find it. It's not on here anywhere. Nah. Where you at? Yeah. So, to me, it's, you know, if you listen to people's rankings, the people who will actually rank this, like I said, I don't have a favorite. They put this at the top of their list, and I totally disagree that the 1978 John Carpenter is the best of this franchise. Totally disagree with that. We could say that it's the most, I would argue the fact that it's the most solid, but it isn't the best, in my honest opinion. And so if we're going to have the argument is who's the best out of Zombie and Carpenter's, like I say, Carpenter wins as far as score being deeply disturbing is a tie. As far as the score, as far as just being suspenseful, Carpenter wins. But the acting in this is just, especially the character Linda, the acting in this, PJ Souls, the acting in this, it's almost like it's robotic. Hi, and there's a scene where they're walking. I think it's Linda and Laurie Strode and PJ Souls playing the part of Annie, Linda, and Laurie. Linda, Annie, and Laurie. And what are you? I think the dialogue is, "What are you doing tonight?" And she's like, "Unfortunately, I have nothing to do tonight. It's your own fault, and I don't feel a bit sorry for you." And then you see this creepy scene where Michael's behind the bush, and she's like, "You see that guy over there? That one that you yelled at?" You know what I mean? So, I mean, the acting's not all that great. To me, the acting's not all that great, okay? The acting's not all that great. Now, if you're not used to horror films, every single one of these films and the franchise is probably gonna reach out and grab you. Because we could argue the fact, just like the Scream series, to name a few. I got that at Walmart, I think. Laying around. You know me, if I see something laying around, I'll grab it. It's a solid series. There's really not a bad, even though people that are ranked, and I would encourage you to go Halloween franchise ranked, and they're always going to put this sucker at the top of the list. You dig what I'm saying? They're always going to put this stupid sucker at the top of the list. And if you do it one more time, I'll throw this thing halfway across the room, because I'm going to argue with you all day long. It's not the best. It is the best as probably far as suspenseful. Anybody can put on a mask. I could put on a mask, right? I could put on a mask. Get me a Steadicam. Put on a mask. Put my daughter Callie from here in about 10 more years when she becomes a teenager in early 20s. Put her from here to the top of my street. Put some freaky music and have me walking really slow at Callie, like Callie's help me, and that would scare anybody. Okay, and so essentially that's what you got with a lot of Halloween 1. But as far as brutality, or the original Halloween, as far as brutality, blood, doing something different, being creative and unique, and taking it and trying to not just, a lot of people have flaws because you got a prequel. I got to move on, guys, but we'll be here all night. But you got a prequel and you got a movie where he copies and pastes, rinse, washes, and repeats what Carpenter did. But you get a ooh, look there, Michael's there. That just look at him there. I was gonna do if you want a more gore fest version, and I think by the time they got to Rob Zombie after Resurrection is this film with Busta Rhymes. Remember when Busta Rhymes goes in there and says, "Michael, what you doing in here? Your brain ain't leaking, your brain ain't working. You need to get your tail down into the basement where Nora is. Scoot, skedaddle, get the heck out of Dodge." And Michael walks away, and a lot of people get upset, at that one. But there's so many different timelines going on, okay? Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, this one today, I was going to do a brief clip of it. Unfortunately, the disc broke on me today. It broke. Of all days did this happen to me, the disc broke, and I got to order a new one. Screw you, Season of the Witch. But I want to keep this nice language free for my daughter. I was going to do some clips But the scenes that I wanted to do that I thought were all funny had foul language and they were really gory. And I want my daughter to see this. I want my daughter to see this, and I can't stress daughter to see this well enough. So sorry, Callie, no clips. I was gonna do little clips and have it edited and come back and play funny scenes, but unfortunately, they were foul language and they were graphic, and so I'm just gonna stick with just kind of what I'm doing right now, which is just going over the film. So, yeah, so I would suggest that you would give both. If you're a fan of horror, you're probably gonna love both of them. Rob Zombie's Halloween, John Carpenter's. Halloween, John Carpenter's. And you got some people that just can't get past Carpenter. You know what I mean? They can't get past him because they don't really understand the structure of sequels. The original of any franchise is the only point at which it's new. You know what I mean? Sequels are supposed to differentiate unless you just want to do a copy and paste of that every time, a wash, rinse, and repeat. And to me, it's difficult to do. It's difficult to do. So I don't go into the whole argument. I will agree with fans, not all fans, but some fans that say that as far as if you want something different and unique, Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is a good watch. It's a good watch. It's one very unconventional. You get a backstory on Laurie Strode, which you didn't get with Carpenter's Halloween 1 and 2. Even though Carpenter didn't direct Halloween 2, Rick Rosenthal did. But however, and I can't stress however well enough, him and Deborah Hill wrote it. As far as Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, man, I wish this wouldn't have broke, because this is one of my I would say if I'm not going to rank it, but this right here, Colonel Cochran, man, him just a joke on the children. To me, making a silver shamrock mask, and everybody knows that. 3 more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 3 more days to Halloween, silver shamrock. And he goes to, and you have played by the awesome Tom Atkins and Dan Herlihy as Colonel Cochran, and the man is so mad and twisted, and he thinks that the youth of America is messed up. So his plot is to, on Halloween night, use the silver shamrock mask. They have a Stone Age. They have put this chip in these masks, and on Halloween night, he's going to play this commercial, and he's going to wipe out all the youth. And he's going to, in his goal is to procreate the world, because he thinks that generation is so corrupted to go on and do crazy things. Well, we know by this time he's right. I mean, to put that into reality, that generation birthed kids that now have school shootings and all sorts of crime. So if you want to look at it in a movie perspective, but then cross over to reality, kind of, in which you don't want to get reality and movies and realities confused. You dig? But however, and I can't stress however, that's just a genius plan. So basically, even though this was meant to be an anthology series, not every year, but as often as they made them every other year, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. I think if they would have just called it Season of the Witch, it would have been awesome. Michael Myers doesn't make an appearance except for a few cameos on TV. The Mortal Classic, he's not in it. Let's move on to this timeline. Halloween 4, debated amongst fans, the return of Michael Myers, one of the best in the series. To me, it's not one of the best. Halloween 5, one of the worst. It's not one of the worst. And then went over this. To me, that's the worst. So Halloween 4 and 5, let me talk a little bit about Halloween 4. Halloween 4, the return of Michael. Halloween 4, the return of Michael Myers. This time you have Jamie Lloyd, his last blood relative. So Jamie, she comes into play, and Michael's after her. The kids are picking on her at school. And if you, it would be awesome one day to watch this film. When my daughter gets, she's around my daughter's age in this film, and so the big thing is that she goes to school. The kids are picking on her. And Michael shows up, makes her life a living crap, and I can't stress crap well enough. And he comes back. But I will agree with fans that the mask does suck in Halloween 4 Season of the Witch. The mask is terrible. It's just terrible. It's terrible. So Michael, he actually has a plan in this one, though. You know, he goes out and he takes out the electricity. He shuts out the lights to the whole town. And it's just good movies of the Thorn trilogy to put you in a good Halloween spirit. Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Where did it go? What did it take? What were the curveballs? And I think there's some acting problems. There's some acting problems. Halloween 5 had a Friday the 13th tone, especially the one girl who played Tina wasn't that great of acting, and so a lot of people haven't given this movie a fair chance. Now, Halloween 5: The Revenge of Michael Myers. You know, he I think the mask is not too bad, but the mask is all over the place in this series. So that being said, and I can't stress being said well enough, Halloween 5, because it has a Friday the 13th tone, a lot of fans don't like that. I'm a Friday the 13th fan, more than I am a Halloween fan. I'm just a casual Halloween fan. So honestly, and I can't stress honestly well enough, that's the reason I like Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers. Callie, maybe mommy will get, maybe let you watch it tonight. Not. But anyway, maybe the trailer. Not. But, anyway, so with that being said, well enough, Halloween 5, The Revenge of Michael Myers has some good elements going for it. It's got a good tone. It's got a good atmosphere. It's got the creepy vibe of Halloween, but it also has the tone of Friday the 13th. And that might make some people not go for this film. Okay? What's next? Then you have the David Gordon Green installments. And this is, and because, like I said, because there's so many timelines, I can't give you a fair ranking. So you start out in 2018, Halloween 2018. It is a direct sequel to the original 1978 Halloween, so you could say that this is another timeline. Halloween 2018, and then Halloween Kills, and then Halloween Ends. But let me just be clear, and I can't stress clear enough, Halloween never ends. So Halloween never ends, so suck my freaking socks. Blumhouse says he's dead, but we all know he's not. So let's go watch Pumpkinhead on VHS. Okay. Anyway, so you have this timeline. So if you want to watch another timeline, go to Halloween. Watch the original. Then you want to go to Halloween 2018, Halloween Kills, and Halloween Ends. Let's start out with 2018 Halloween. I think it plays out well. You have the scene, he opens up, they go visit Michael at Smith Grove. I thought it was really cool to actually go to Smith Grove, see him out on the yard having a wreck. He's all chained up, and guy's sitting there with the mask. You can feel it, you can feel the power, you can feel the evil, catch you. And everybody's sitting there going, all these I shouldn't call them retarded. Mentally challenged people start acting stupid. Michael's just like standing there. You can feel it. And then the credits come on. And then through the movie, for me, it's up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. And even though it's a very real, the tone is good. It's got some good atmosphere. I just think it's a complete shift from what I think Rob Zombie, in my honest opinion, had this series back in the right direction. And David Gordon Green just has to come on and pee all over it, 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 and pee all over it. So man, quit peeing on the Halloween franchise. Then we get into Halloween Kills. Halloween Kills wasn't bad to me. Is, if I had a favorite, I would have to say is also one of my favorites. Halloween Kills starts out, you got some flashbacks. They do a good job of recreating the 1978 flashbacks for about 5 minutes of the movie, or 3 to 5 minutes. I don't know how long it is. All you Halloween experts will correct me on that. However, Halloween Kills plays out well. I think the scene when he comes out, spoiler alerts. I'm not trying to give away too many spoilers because I realize everybody, can't stress everybody well enough, has not watched this franchise. He comes out and escapes the fire at the end of Halloween 2018, where Laurie and her 2 daughters trap Michael. He comes out and he takes out a whole squad of the fire department. It's got some cool kills. I think Michael is the greatest force in Halloween kills. Now, Halloween Ends. What's my thoughts on Halloween Ends? Well, Halloween never ends, so suck my freaking socks. Blumhouse says he's dead, but we all know he's not. So let's go watch Pumpkinhead on VHS. Okay, I'm done. Halloween Ends. It has a it's, if I were to rank it, I'm not. I would have to say it's up there with my favorites. So what are my favorites? So since I don't have a ranking, can I give you my favorites? So my favorites in the series is Halloween 2, one of my favorites. Halloween 3, and Halloween Ends. I have to say that all the mixed reviews that Halloween's went under. Spoiler alert. At the end, this Halloween Ends, they do kill off Michael Myers. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people are unaware in this a lot of people of this Michael. Yeah. Well, a lot of people are unaware of this Michael. You do have a copycat killer in Halloween Ends. You also have the real Michael Myers in Halloween Ends, right? You have a copycat killer in Halloween Ends. You also have the real Michael Myers in Halloween Ends. And who is the copycat killer? Which is Corey. Corey goes into the sewer and he finds Michael, and he stumbles upon Michael, and Michael grabs him, and somehow the evil, he looks in Corey's eyes, and at the beginning of the movie, spoiler alerts for anybody who hasn't watched Halloween Ends, Corey is babysitting this guy. He's babysitting, and the guy that he's babysitting, they play hide and seek, and he locks him in a closet, and Corey gets claustrophobic, and he kicks open the door. He knocks the child off the balcony, and he dies. And the credits roll. Very ballsy, because Halloween 3 also showed the death of children, or one child, and Halloween Ends does too. That doesn't resonate. That's ballsy for a film to do this. This is the second time, even though in Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, Michael Myers is not even in the film. According to one lost script, during the events of Halloween 3, Michael Myers goes back to Smith Groves. He hides out. That's where he's at. He hides out. Sheriff Brackett goes after him, and Brackett and Michael have a confrontation. Somehow impales him with the knife. Michael escapes. Brackett lives, but that's where Myers. So if you're wondering where Michael Myers is at during the events of Halloween 3, I just gave it to you. Now every Halloween fan's gonna be like, I can't believe you did that. I can't believe you told people. I can't believe you told people. Can't believe you did that, man. Yeah, I told people. Okay, you Halloween fans, this is what I want you to do. I want you to go. Relax when us Friday the 13th fans come around you. Relax, it's okay. So, Halloween Ends was ballsy. It was really ballsy, okay? And ballsy's not a bad word. That means that you have to... So, Corey goes into the sewer, and Michael sees him kicking off the little boy off the balcony. And Michael lets him go. But he also transfers the evil that's in him into Corey. And Corey goes out, puts on Michael's mask, and starts raiding mayhem. And every time Corey kills for Michael, it makes Michael stronger. Well, there's one scene where and it's almost like they double team up. There's one scene where Corey is really struggling, and he's about to get the cops called on him, and Michael just, I guess, is kind of sitting back and watching this, and he comes in to help out Corey, stabs him because Corey's just doing a sloppy job. You know what I mean? And so it's very divisive. Right? It's very divisive. So I would have to say my favorites are Ends, Halloween 3 Seasons of the Witch, and Halloween 2. I'm not going to rank them. I don't have a favorite. I don't, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? If I had my, favorites, those would be my favorites. But I don't have a favorite as far as ranking. You know what I mean? I don't have a favorite as far as, there's different ways you can, you know what I mean? You have favorites. You have a favorites in talking about the franchise, but as far as a ranking, I don't have a favorite. So don't think that I've contradicted myself, because like at the beginning of the video, I said, what is your favorite? What is your favorite Halloween movie? I don't have one as far as a ranking. Some of my best ones to watch are those three. Whatever. So Halloween never ends. So suck my freaking socks. Blumhouse says he's dead, but we all know he's not. So go watch Pumpkinhead on VHS. Have a happy Halloween to everybody.